Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into my sinking funds for the month of January. Now, as you can see here, I'm closing out the month and I have 3 transactions that have happened this month. So this is going to be a short, hopefully short and quick video, and just to show you how what happens in my sinking funds when things are charged and where the money goes and how much is left over. I use a savings account to put all my money in for sinking funds, and then when I charge either my credit card or it comes out of my checking account, I can take that savings account and replenish my checking account or pay the credit card with that exact amount that I have charged from here. So for example, I have this category. It's called cell phone tech. And I didn't actually use this money for cell phone or tech. I used it for something else. It just had grown to over $550, and we thought it would be wise to use it to something else, and we don't really have anything planned for cell phone or tech for the anybody in the home. So I went ahead and used this category. So your sinking funds can be as flexible as you want them to be. You can use them for other things if you know you're not going to need the money soon, and try rebuilding it again later. My sinking funds, these amounts don't really change. They roll every month, and they have continued. I've had this rollover continuing for years now, probably since 2019 when I first set up my sinking funds. And I set up sinking funds for mostly my annual bills as well as my quarterly bills, and then a few funds such as this cell phone tech, birthday, activities, things like that don't happen to have an end date or a narrow specific purpose. It can be used for any birthday or any Christmas gift or anything like that for that category, or any activity that we just feel like we would like to do. It's just there when an opportunity happens. The rest of them are for bills and have a specific date that they're going to happen. So I do a little bit of every month, and then when that bill comes due, it's fully funded and I don't have to think about it. I just transfer to whatever account it came out of, whether it was checking or credit card. So my $500, we did spend $500 out of this and used it for something different, but that's okay. And we are good with that. We have $55.81 left over. Norton was my husband's subscription for his laptop, and that came out this year for $63.59, and I had that fully funded. Sometimes the number isn't even enough to go divided by 12 once a month, pay, deposit, and then you get an even number. That doesn't always happen. I had 37 cents left over. That's fine. I'll just carry it over, and it'll help me in the future if I don't have enough to actually put in here. I have a little extra to kind of cushion that. CKY and landfill, this is our trash. Every month I put $30 in. We spent $87.49 for trash, and I still have $9.20. Now this does fluctuate a little bit quarterly, and it averages about $30 a month. That's why I put that in there. But it depends on the fuel charge that they add to the bill in addition to trash collection. That is where the money, that's where the fluctuation comes in this bill. And so sometimes I have more, sometimes I don't have enough, and I have to fund it with the next month or things like that. So, but that's how that turned out. And we're going to total up the withdrawals that I had from the savings account to cover all, to pay these charges on the credit card or the checking account. And I think all of these were actually credit card charges. Nothing went to the checking account. So you wouldn't have seen it in the budget. So what we have is 500 plus the 63.59, and we have the 87.49. There we go. So we spent, I want to use my red pen. Anytime it's negative or spent or something, I like using a red pen. So minus the $651 and 0 cents, or not 0 cents, 8 cents. There we go. All right. So hopefully what my total going across will equal my total coming down, and that's what we're going to look at today. So my total going across, we'll just go ahead and do that, $1823.82 plus the deposit I made earlier, sinking funds $438.64, and then minus the $651.08, and that gives me $1,611.38. There we go. So now I need to know what the new balances are for all these different individual categories, and when I total all of them up, they have to equal this number, and it should work out just fine. So I've kind of done it off filming and before I came on here to make sure the numbers would work out. So hopefully I did them right, and if I did, this should be the answer that we come up with. So Amazon Prime here has $41.32, and I'm going to add the $12, and this is for, you know, the subscription for Amazon Prime. If you have not gotten emails or notice, if you watch a lot of Prime, like I use Prime as one of my streaming services, there's a way of watching some of the stuff without commercials now, and it's a $2.99 charge, and if your state charges tax, mine does, it's $3.24. I have that as a new bill in my budget now because we're trying it out and see if we like it. We can turn it off at any time, but if you see that charge or wondering what Amazon Digital might be, that is what that is. I'm not putting it as a sinking fund, but this is the annual payment for the Amazon Prime part of it. So for right now, I have $53.32. That is not due until September. When September hits, it'll be fully funded, and I don't have to think about it. So it's pretty awesome. So nothing added here, so that's $100. Then here I have Microsoft 365 Apple.com. So this is a subscription with Microsoft, Apple subscription to put Microsoft products on my laptop. That's what it is. So $224 plus the $651, and that gives me $8.75. Now, if I take $651 times 12, that's $78.12. That's about what we pay for the annual subscription. So everything I put on here, you just divide it by 12 months and you make one savings deposit, and then that's all you really need. And that's how I run my sinking funds. Now, some people may run it completely different, where they have different way of using it. You can use it for, let's say if you have small children and they go through clothes quickly and you need to put $50 a month away for clothes for kids or yourself or anything like that, and then spend out of it from there. That's a great way of doing it. I know a lot of young families that do that, but we don't have that need, so I just use annual subscriptions or annual bills that need to come out, and anything quarterly. And then any funds that are, regularly every year, like Christmas is every year, birthdays are every year, things like that, that you typically spend money on. So Orkin spray, this is something that we have funded every month, and I have it done quarterly because I do not want bugs in my house. So there's $86.16, and I'm adding $42 every month to that, and that gives me $128.16. That number tells me I'm about due for a spray this month. So usually it's $125.99. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of open back here to the beginning of my notebook and find these little boxes I filled in. So back here I have this 12-month kind of, it's not a calendar, but it's a list of stuff you can put by month or whatever category you want to put here at the top. I did it monthly, starting with January, ending in December here. And as you can see, my trash is every 3 months, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then Orkin's every 3 months as well, so 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So I know what month they're coming in. And when I saw that it was fully funded for Orchid, Orkin to come and spray. I came back here and looked and said February. Okay, great. Now I can write down when they email me, because they usually email you and say, is this a good date for you and time? If I don't respond, that's when they show up. If I do respond or call them, it's because I need to change the date and time. I usually don't, and I'll just write that information down when the time comes. But I also see that Google storage is coming out on February 8th, and that is also on my sinking funds. So I've been preparing that for 3 months. So I'm going to go back here again. Let's see, that's not it. To my notes, all the way in the back. There we go. And so that's the other way I keep track of them, is I know by month when the bills need to come out, and there's every month has 1 or 2 items, except for March. I have nothing coming out in March. But yeah, these are regularly occurring things. Funds that aren't bills, I don't put on that calendar. It's just don't need to. I just have this put together. So here is what I have. This is like a fund for not emergencies or anything, but if a pipe leaks in the basement or something like that, I can call and make a service request to come out and fix the, with a plumber to fix pipe. And those are $200-300 calls sometimes. So depending on who you use and all those things. And so home maintenance, this is the little things for people we hire, those fees that come up when we need to have them come out and take care of something. And I just kind of want to build this up. I think $400 to $600 is where we're going to build that up, and for the call, and that's just for service calls. Big home maintenance, like a new hot water heater or something major, would come out of our emergency fund, not this little maintenance service fee number. So that's what we have here. So I have $382.77 plus $75. I think I did use it once or twice last year for a service call, and that was about it. And this is what was left, $457.77. And then we need to register our vehicles every year and get pay taxes and tags for our vehicles, and that's what this is. So I have $206.64 plus $13.50. I'm basing this number on what I had left over in this category last year, plus how much I needed to match what we paid last year. So we only needed $13.50 a month, and that gave me $220.14. Again, we've already done cell phone tech. I do $100 a month for Christmas and birthday, and so that's $200. I don't really need a calculator for that. And one of my sons is actually born on Christmas Eve, so we need to make sure at the end of the year we have enough for both his birthday and Christmas, because Christmas Eve is no longer Christmas Eve to us. It's just birthday. And we celebrate it. And so we make sure he has his special day, and then he gets Christmas the next day, which is kind of fun. Activities fund, I have $125.19. I might actually use this in February. I'm going to add $50 to this. There is a wedding in the family, and my mom and dad might come up for the wedding. And I would like to stay the night in the location where the wedding is for one night. It's very low key, it's at the courthouse. It's not a big wedding or anything. Dress nice, but it's not a big thing. But everybody, people are invited, and yeah, so I'm excited about that, and we're going to have a big reception though afterwards. And so if we're going to be there, it's a 2-hour drive. I don't want to be driving late at night back to the house. So I figure we can just stay there for the weekend or for the night and then come back the next day. And I get to spend time with my family, which I haven't done yet. So Canva is how I do my thumbnails and my social media and stuff like that. I'm trying to get better at that. $80, $90. I was just copying over. It's $120 a year, and I think April is when mine is due. At least that's what it was last year. Hopefully it hasn't gone up. So $90. And you can always check going into your profile and checking your account to see if you have enough put aside. And there's that. Xander Identity Theft is what this is. It's $24. And I had $12 a month. That gives me $36. It's actually, see, $12 a month times 12. It's $144. It's actually $145, but I usually save up enough in dividends to have $1 or $2 in there, and I use that dollar to cover that $1 difference, which is kind of nice. Norton, we've already gone over that. Landfill, we've already gone over that. Southern States Propane, that is our fireplace propane. We definitely enjoyed having it this year and last year, having the propane tank and using the fireplace during this winter when it was really cold. It was 19 degrees or -4 degrees or whatever it was a few days during this cold snap. So I saved $240 all the way up to November. And then if I call them out and ask them to refill it, and then they give me a receipt on how much it costs to refill it, and then I pay it out of this fund. So this is $40 that I have. I've already done it last November, and I'm going forward from here. And yeah, it's plenty of money to take care of it. I think last year I only spent $180. It just depends on propane prices at the time of them filling it up. And yeah, that's what I have there. Epidemic Sound is the music you guys hear. I enjoy listening to some of the music, and I have it downloaded on my laptop. But in order not to have copyright infringements, I have to have a source of music, and I like Epidemic Sound more than YouTube Music, so I use that subscription there. And that is 24 plus 12, $36. Now I have dividends. So I got 37 cents last month. This month I got 30 cents. So I'm now up to a whopping 67 cents. This account is not meant to grow or have a lot of money in it. It's just to be fluid, to have money coming in and out, so that everything is covered throughout the year. And that is what's important with this account. So we're going to total this column up and make sure it matches this number and that we are good to go. So I'll be right back. All right, so my number matches here, $1,611.38. So that means I did this correctly, and this is what my bank account actually says. So that is really good when you are running your numbers and you want it to match your bank account. This is the best way I know how to make sure that works is by tracking and going through the numbers and making sure they come out the same. What you want to make sure is you have enough for everything that you want or need in your sinking fund. That is my sinking funds. That is my sinking funds closing and what I spent and how much is left. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free.